This is the North End. This is the North End.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the North End podcast, and this is 5 things that we've learned from Aston Villa this weekend. Unfortunately, JP California can't be with us because he's too lazy, but I have taken over the reins and I'm going to try and do it justice because, jokes aside, JP, you do a great job. So we're going to start with the most pressing problem for Aston Villa right now. It's just not working up front. And this is becoming abundantly obvious. You know, there's an awful lot of conversation of how do we get this to work? Is it Ings and Watkins? Is it Ings instead of Watkins? Is it Watkins instead of Ings? And no matter what Mr. Gerrard seems to try, it doesn't seem to come off. Now, the numbers really are worrying. In the last 11 games, Ollie Watkins has managed 2 goals. Now, he had a blink of form where he scored 2 in 2 games and thought, great, he's back. And again today, completely looked isolated, didn't really do a whole lot. In the first half of the game, Aston Villa recorded 0 touches in the Arsenal box. Now, this is a very, very well kind of organised Arsenal team right now. And it's exciting to watch them, but they're not without failure. There was a number of mislaid passes. The problem was Villa sat off for so long. And Watkins just looks more and more frustrated. So from a Villa perspective, this has to be something that Mr. Gerrard and Stephen and the rest of his team are very worried about, because this is a serious problem. We can't rely on Coutinho every time. We can't rely on, Jacob Ramsey. It's too young to be putting too much on their shoulders. So someone needs to be stepping up. Now, there's an awful lot of talk about young Archer, who is killing it on loan, I believe, at Preston right now. Non-stop, goal after goal after goal, is deadly. I don't know if the option of a recall is there, but at this stage, you'd be hard drawn to say that he doesn't deserve a chance, because right now, it's just not working. And the same can be said with Ings as well. Again, 2 goals, at least 1 assist in his last 9 or 10 games. But doing so with far less minutes played than Ollie Watkins. So, very different players, and I just think we're not playing to their strengths. But if we aren't able to set a team up to do that, we need to change it. Number 2 is just incredible for me. It's too much tinkering. Now, I know, and it's going to be quite ironic because I'm going to change that in a minute, but in this regard, Callum Chambers has come in. He gets an opportunity with Eric Konsa being unavailable, and he plays brilliantly. Not only does he keep 2 clean sheets, he also scores a goal and an assist, and a phenomenal goal. Now, this lad has been, limited opportunity for the last couple of months over at Arsenal, so it was a great and very interesting loan signing. But he's come in and he's done a great job. So it seems a bit crazy that after that kind of a performance, he gets dropped. Now, I'm a huge fan of Eric Konsa, or Ezri, I should say. And Ezri is, I still believe, one of the best English defenders that we have, young English defenders. He's a player without a lot of confidence right now. He looks very frustrated. But let's not forget where he was last year. One of the top in Europe for blocks, top in the one for balls won, for headers won. He is a very, very accomplished player. But Callum Chambers deserved his place in that team. So to lose it, I know we lost 2-1 to West Ham. He didn't have the best game, but he wasn't particularly bad either. So I really have to say it seemed like a really strange decision. I know bringing him in, but I would have loved to have seen playing one of them in a defensive midfield role. Why not? And that's something we're going to come to in a minute. But Konsa's a very talented ball player. He's very comfortable with the ball at his feet. Could that be a potential option? I know we've struggled with changing formations, but there's something still not clicking. So I think that was a big mistake today. Number 3 is Douglas Luiz. Is it time that he gets dropped? Now, Douglas Luiz has been very vocal, I should say, or Instagrammable recently with his very affluent relationship with one of Villa's wonderful female players. Herself, quite an accomplished Instagrammer with over, I think, 2 million followers. But he's very loved up, and that's great. But there are a lot of managers over the years have put things like sex bans, they've put, relationship limitations. David Beckham was apparently told he had to stay away from Victoria during big match games at certain times. I'm not saying that that's the problem, but Douglas Luiz has not been performing like we know that he can perform. He's not doing badly, but he's also not doing well. And this is a Brazilian international. This is a player that has the ability to ping an absolute worldie of a goal. He took a free kick in the 60th plus minute of the game today, and it was just absolutely horrendous. So he's become very comfortable. And I think that was the problem, is we were so worried about losing him because they had that buyback at Man City. We got through that stage, and it almost feels like the venom's not there for him anymore. So I think we desperately need to look at that. Now, who do you bring in? That is the tough decision to make. But I personally feel, Sanson is sat there. He hasn't done a whole lot, and JP and I had a good exchange on this recently. And JP thinks he could be out the door in the summer, and I couldn't argue with that. But while he is there, give him the opportunity. Let's see if we can get something out of him, because what we're getting right now from McGinn and Luiz isn't working. So someone has to be dropped. I think McGinn offers more for an all-rounded performance. I think he inspires the team more. But a Sanson, or give young Carney a go. Apparently he was lined up to come on today. Next thing, the camera pans back and he sat back down, and it's Bertrand Traore and Leon Bailey, which is fine. I get it. We had to go at them, but Chuck is an incredible ball player, and he moves the play, and he's very confident. I know, like, we're seeing what Ramsey is getting the opportunities starting every week. Like, I think Chuck needs more time, and I think this is an option. If the players around you aren't performing, then so be it. So I think it's about time that Douglas Luiz starts to feel the burn a little bit, and dropping him and giving him a bit of a desire to want that place and to really battle for that place, I think could be a real important thing for the rest of the season. Number 4, it has to be said, we have to be better at home, especially. Aston Villa have taken 5 out of their last 18 points from home games. Now, Villa Park, no matter whether you're a Villa fan, whether you're a Tottenham fan, everyone knows that Villa Park is a really great stadium. The fans get behind them. The Holt End is infamous for how they support their club. But right now, it's just not good enough. But it's been like this for a while, and this was never the case when I was growing up. Villa Park was a very difficult place for teams to come. There was an awful lot of expectation there. And now we seem to be completely inept of actually putting it together anymore. And I don't know what that is. Is it maybe I don't know, do they not feel the sense of pride at Aston Villa Park anymore? Are these players not connected enough to the team? I know this is a wild statement, but I'm just trying to work it out. And please, if you guys think you have any ideas, stick it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, from Villa fans, from other fans. What's happening? Why have we become so toothless at our own stadium? And it's got to change, because Villa Park is the type of stadium that can get behind you. It's the type of stadium that will roar you on. It'll also be, unfortunately, the type of stadium that will really tear into if you're not doing well. So Villa fans have to be wary of that, but something is not right. And finally, let's get back to corner attacks. Corner threats were a real prominent part of Villa's game in the start of the season. There was a lot of talk about the coaching staff that we brought on, and you could see it. We were very creative. We were moving the ball real nicely. We were, some trick plays, and it was good, and it was really exciting. Today, we're coming up against one of the smallest average heighted teams in the Premier League. You look at the back four, they're not particularly tall. Their mids aren't particularly tall, but they're well drilled. You've got the Sakas, the Emile Smith-Rowe. These are short guys, Lacazette's. So Villa have some very, very tall players. You've got Mings, that's a bit of a monster. Cons is a big lad. The ball will have to be coming into these players, or mixing it up. Get it out to McGinn. Let him wallop a 20-yard left footer. Let's try something different. We had 6 corner attacks today, and I don't think we even looked like scoring on any of them. So that's really problematic. And you could extend that and also say set pieces. From a set piece perspective, it was really poor again. Like Douglas Luiz's free kick was terrible, and it was just an all-round bad performance by Aston Villa. Just toothless, venomous, just really disappointing. And I think it's something that we really need to get a hold of, because above teams or against teams that are above us, we look scared. And yet we come up against other teams and we look like a totally different squad. An exciting, thought-provoking, very smart. The football is very smart, and then we seem to get scared. we're like, oh, it's Arsenal. But, this is a young Arsenal team. Their lead goal scorer is average 21 and a half years of age. Emile Smith-Rowe and Saka are the top goal scorers now with, I think it's 8 or 9 goals each. And these young lads, get into them. Give them something to be worried about. And we have to change. Like, something has to be done. It's just not good enough. Now, it is a rebuild season. I think we've realised that bringing Steven Gerrard in is going to be good in the long run. I think we're going to attack the names like the Coutinhos. Who knows? Maybe Suarez is unhappy. I'd take an old Suarez. I think what he brings, like the eye for goal that he has, there's few players in history that have been as good as he is. So if we can get him on a free, bring him back, get him linking up with Coutinho, why not? Give it a go. But something has to change, and I know they'll be looking at that now. And the summer transfer window will be busy for Villa. I'm going to call it now. But for this game, disappointing, fingers crossed. But we go again next week. We keep the faith. UTV. Remember, guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Because if you don't, then what's the point of life, of this, and any of it? But do follow along on our socials as well. Get us at the _north_end_pod on Instagram. We are on there as well. But please comment, share, and give us all that sweet, sweet loving. And we'll see you soon. And you'll be back probably next week with JP California. Thanks all.
This is the North End.